a devout man of God. He is the first Brazilian saint, and he is also known for his miraculous pills. Today's curiosities are about Saint Friar Galvão. Here are 11 curiosities about him. 11. Origins and formation. Anthony Galvão was born on May 13, 1739, in Guaratingueta, a city located in the Paraíba Valley in the state of St. Paul. This region, known for its strong Catholic tradition, was the cradle of Friar Galvão's faith. His family was devout and practicing Catholics, especially devoted to Our Lady of Sant'Anna. This religious environment was crucial for Anthony's spiritual development from childhood. The faith and devotion practiced in his home inspired in him a deep desire to serve God, a desire he followed with great fervor throughout his life. If you are not yet subscribed to our channel, subscribe so you don't miss any curiosities about the saints. 10. Religious education. At the age of 13, Anthony Galvão was sent to the Jesuit convent in Belém, in the city of Cachoeira, in Bahia. This convent was known for its strict discipline and academic excellence, offering promising young people a solid religious and educational foundation. During his time with the Jesuits, Anthony developed a strong foundation in theology and spirituality. In 1759, due to the policy of the Marquis of Pombal, which ordered the expulsion of the Jesuits from all Portuguese territories, Anthony was forced to leave the convent. Without losing sight of his vocation, he decided to join the Franciscan order. He transferred to the convent of São Boaventura de Macacu in Taubaté, St. Paul, where he continued his religious formation. As a member of the Franciscan order, Anthony adopted the name Friar Anthony de Sant'Anna Galvão. He dedicated himself entirely to the principles of the order: poverty, chastity, and obedience. His life in the convent was marked by intense prayer, service to the needy, and devotion to the Virgin Mary. 9. Religious life and miracles. Friar Galvão is a revered figure not only for his religious devotion and exemplary life but also for the extraordinary spiritual gifts attributed to him. His life was marked by reports of mystical phenomena that reinforced his holiness and spiritual legacy. Among the spiritual gifts attributed to Friar Galvão is levitation, which is the ability to rise above the ground without any physical support. Historical accounts and testimonies from his contemporaries mention occasions when Friar Galvão was seen levitating during his prayers or while meditating, a sign of his profound spiritual connection and holiness. Another remarkable gift associated with Friar Galvão is bilocation, that is, the ability to be present in two different places at the same time. This phenomenon was witnessed by several people and is considered a sign of divine grace. One of the best-known episodes recounts that Friar Galvão was seen simultaneously in his convent and in a distant location, assisting those in need. Friar Galvão is also remembered for his ability to predict future events. A notable example of this premonition was his vision of an earthquake that devastated Lisbon, Portugal, in 1755. Although in Brazil, Friar Galvão reportedly announced the event before official news arrived, demonstrating his connection to the divine and his ability to receive revelations. Leave your prayer request in the comments below, so that Friar Galvão may intercede for it before God. 8. First miracles. The miracles attributed to Friar Galvão began to be reported even during his childhood, reinforcing the idea that he possessed a special vocation from an early age. One of the first miracles attributed to Friar Galvão occurred when he was still a child. According to reports, Anthony Galvão walked on the waters of the Paraíba do Sul River to save a friend who was drowning. This miraculous event highlighted the faith and courage of young Anthony, marking the beginning of his journey as a servant of God blessed with extraordinary gifts. 7. Canonization and Recognition. Friar Galvão's canonization, like in all canonization processes in the Catholic Church, required the proof of miracles that could be attributed to his intercession. One of the key miracles that led to his canonization involved Sandra Grossi de Almeida, a devotee who faced serious health complications that prevented her from carrying a pregnancy to term. Sandra Grossi de Almeida had suffered 3 consecutive miscarriages and faced a medical diagnosis indicating a low probability of successfully maintaining a healthy pregnancy. In an act of faith, she turned to the famous pills of Friar Galvão, which are small strips of paper containing prayers, much sought after by devotees seeking miracles and cures. After taking these pills, Sandra was able to carry a complicated pregnancy to term, resulting in the birth of her son, Enzo, healthy and without complications. This extraordinary event was widely recognized as a miracle due to Friar Galvão's intervention. Friar Galvão's story culminated in his canonization, a rigorous process that includes the confirmation of miracles attributed to his intercession, with Sandra Grossi de Almeida's case being one of the decisive factors. Friar Galvão was canonized by Pope Benedict XVI on May 11, 2007, in a grand ceremony held at Campo de Marte, St. Paul. The canonization was a significant event, not only for the Catholic community in Brazil but for the Catholic Church as a whole, marking the elevation of the first saint born in Brazil to the status of saint. The miracle attributed to Friar Galvão underwent thorough investigation by the Vatican, involving detailed analyses by a team of physicians, theologians, and other experts. They examined the absence of scientific explanations for the cure and the clear connection to prayers and devotion to Friar Galvão. After the validation of the miracle, the canonization process progressed, culminating in his proclamation as a saint. 6. Legacy and influence. Friar Galvão's pills, also known as miraculous pills, are small strips of paper containing a prayer written by him. The prayer is folded so that the paper strip can be ingested. Friar Galvão began distributing these pills as an act of faith and charity, and they quickly gained fame for their healing powers. Even today, these pills are distributed by religious and devotees of Friar Galvão, especially at the Monastery of Light, which he founded in St. Paul. Many people report experiencing physical, emotional, and spiritual healings after taking the pills and praying with faith. Testimonies of miracles associated with Friar Galvão's pills include cures of serious illnesses, protection in dangerous situations, and other divine interventions. 5. Monastery of the Immaculate Conception. Friar Galvão founded the Monastery of Light, formerly known as the Monastery of the Immaculate Conception of Light, in 1774 in St. Paul. The monastery was built with the help of devotees and volunteers, many of whom were inspired by Friar Galvão's faith and dedication. The main purpose of the monastery was to serve as a spiritual retreat for the nuns and a place of prayer and contemplation. The Monastery of Light is a masterpiece of Brazilian colonial architecture and has been declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. It has become an important pilgrimage center, attracting faithful from all over Brazil and the world who come seeking Friar Galvão's intercession. The monastery also houses a museum dedicated to Friar Galvão's life and miracles, preserving his memory and spiritual legacy. 4. Patron Saint of Construction. Friar Galvão is recognized as the patron saint of construction, a title that reflects his skill and dedication in building the Monastery of Light. He personally supervised and participated in the construction of the monastery, demonstrating remarkable competence in architecture and construction, in addition to his profound spirituality. His ability to build and his significant contribution to the construction of one of Brazil's most important monasteries are remembered as symbols of faith and hard work. The choice of Friar Galvão as the patron saint of construction serves as inspiration for engineers, architects, and construction workers, who see in him an example of dedication, excellence, and faith applied to daily work. 3. Cultural and religious impact. The house where Friar Galvão was born, located in Guaratingueta, St. Paul, has been transformed into a memorial in his honor. This site houses relics, personal belongings, and documents that depict important moments of his life. Among the items on display are clothes, writings, and other belongings that help tell the story of Brazil's first native-born saint. The memorial is carefully maintained by his descendants and the local community. They are dedicated to preserving the house in its original state, ensuring that visitors can experience the atmosphere of the 18th century, the time when Friar Galvão lived. In addition to being a point of historical interest, the memorial serves as a pilgrimage site, attracting devotees who wish to learn more about the saint's life and seek his intercession. Friar Galvão's memorial house has become an important destination for religious pilgrimages. Many faithful visit the site in search of blessings, spiritual inspiration, and to thank for favors granted. The memorial also offers an intimate view of the saint's life, allowing visitors to connect more deeply with his history and spiritual legacy. 2. Example of Holiness. Friar Galvão is widely revered for his exemplary life of religious devotion and service to others. His holiness is reflected in his numerous acts of charity, his extraordinary spiritual abilities, and his profound humility. He dedicated his life to prayer, serving the poor, and building religious communities, leaving behind a legacy of love and dedication. Friar Galvão's life inspires thousands of Brazilians to follow his example of faith, devotion, and charity. He is remembered not only for his miracles but also for his tireless commitment to Christian values. Friar Galvão exemplified the virtues of patience, kindness, and generosity, becoming a model of holiness for many. Following Friar Galvão's example, many believers seek to live a life of service to others, practicing charity and humility in their communities. His story motivates people to deepen their faith and actively seek ways to help others, mirroring his actions and teachings. 1. First Brazilian saint, Friar Galvão, born in Guaratingueta, was the first saint born in Brazil, canonized by the Pope in St. Paul. He is remembered for his deep prayer, charity, and love for others. The sanctuary dedicated to Friar Galvão in Guaratingueta attracts around 1 million devotees per year. Originally a small chapel dedicated to Saint Joseph, it was elevated to sanctuary status in 2010 due to increased devotion. Devotion to Friar Galvão has a significant impact on the local community and devotees, inspiring acts of charity, volunteerism, and strengthening of faith. He is remembered as a man of peace, charity, and prayer, who visited the sick and the poor, helping to pay off their debts. His life is an example of Christian virtue, considered an apostle of charity and peace. Devotion to Friar Galvão continues to grow, with many devotees becoming missionaries of his cause, helping to spread his message and teachings. And we've reached the end of another story full of curiosities. Don't forget to leave in the comments which saints' curiosities you would like to see here on the channel. And we'll see you in the next video.